has changed. Doors will close as well, and things will change. Opportunities will no longer be available, others will present themselves. You have to be willing to roll with that over time, or you will just become very jaded and upset and disappointed at the fact that things don't look the way you thought they did while you were sitting in these chairs. And with that, I come to kind of a concluding statement overall, and what I think is the gist of what will define, to be a little overdramatic, the human experience, as it were. You simultaneously account for the past, the future, and enjoy your life all at once. I think the majority of young men and women, and even older men and women, struggle with this. And you sit there and understand that what you've done is done. You can't change it. The accomplishments you've had are with you for life, but so too are the failures. There's no reason to sit there and dwell on the past. You know, I'm sure, people who do that. So too, you know people who are so fixated on the future that they have no idea how to appreciate what's happening right in front of them. People who talk about, I can't wait to the next vacation, while they're on vacation, or what have you. I don't have a definitive way to tell you how to live your life, account for your past, and plan in the future. But I will tell you that the more active you are in deliberately engaging yourselves in that kind of conversation, the more likely you are to be able to find meaning in your day-to-day lives. Otherwise, you're just kind of stuck living in the past or stuck hoping for a future that may or may not ever come. And one of the very few things at the end of the day that you get to control is whether or not you've become a better version of who you are. Life is going to throw you curveballs. The things you did, they're done. All you can ever do is hope to look at yesterday and say, okay, I'm happy with who I was, not happy with who I was, and this is what I'm going to do to change it. And if you can begin to grapple with that at this young age, the chances of you going forward, living a meaningful, successful life, and adapting to the change that will come your way are exponentially greater. And with that said, I wish you all the best of luck in the future, and I hope you enjoy it for all its unpredictability. Congratulations on getting here.
Thank you, Dr. Swenson. And now I get to introduce our salutatorian, Keisha Madison.
First, let me start by saying that I would not be giving this speech without the love and support of my family, both blood-related and those I've accumulated along the way. Today, on our last day here, I would like to share with you a few lessons I learned while I was in high school. Although these lessons could not be taught traditionally in a classroom, they are just as important as American history or algebra. Many of the students and staff here know me for my unique sense of style and the often eccentric things I wear. My style was not always my own. Before high school, I was shy and wore mostly sweatshirts and jeans. Those who didn't know me before high school would be surprised by that. I was always afraid to wear crazy things in public for fear that others would think. When I came to high school, many of the upperclassmen unknowingly taught me that your style is an expression of who you are. I learned that in life, no opinion of you matters except your opinion of yourself. Everyone knows the cliche, don't judge a book by its cover. We are taught this lesson as children, but few heed the advice in high school as well as in adulthood. Many ask me why I keep the company I do. Those I call friends are seen as different because they don't fit society's standard of a good person. When you only look at the surface, the reason they ask is understandable. Unfortunately, the person asking has more than likely missed out on having some of the most kind, caring, and loyal people in their lives. Taking the time to get to know someone before writing them off could give you a true friend you were looking for. I've learned that in high school, you miss out when you judge others based on their past, appearance, race, or the religion they choose to practice. I'm thankful for the lessons I've learned throughout my years in school and for those who have taught them to me. Without them, I would not be the person I am today. As we go our separate ways, I hope that you can take a bit of my knowledge with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Acacia. And now our valedictorian, Michael Arsenault.
Good evening, everyone. Apparently, my ability to remember things and then write them down later means I must have something interesting to say. We'll see about that. I would like to thank you all tonight for coming to experience this milestone in our lives. We've all spent years showing up to this building day after day, and if we're smart about it, maybe this will be the last time we ever have to show up here at all. But before we get on, we're standing at the beginning of our adult lives, lives full of wonders such as taxes and student loans. But before we get on with that, I'd like to share some advice. Consider this one of the last lectures you'll ever have to sit through here. There's something I noticed over the years, and I figured now would be an all right time to bring it up. I find it irritating when people give advice from a position of superiority. No matter what their message, no matter what they say, their message is always the same. How could you possibly be happy if you don't listen to me? It's easy to fall into a trap of thinking that the way a group or individual defines success is correct for everyone. Don't let anyone convince you of this. We're at a stage in our lives where this logic is painfully wrong. You see, before today, our choice in achieving this sought-after success was limited to, well, being here and doing what we're doing right now. The thing I like most about today is that after it's over, we have a new freedom that, at most, only partially existed before. The freedom to decide where we'll go and what we'll do to replicate this feeling of satisfaction that we should all have at this moment. But for now, let's just celebrate. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Before we get to the awards we're going to hand out tonight, I'd like to encourage people to look to the back of our program, and you'll see numerous awards that were given to our graduates on our awards night on June 1st. So I wanted to point that out there. So we gave out even more than we're going to give out tonight. And our first presenter is the American Legion Commander, Ms. Suzanne Williams.
Do I get to call the name and everything?
Do you want me to do it?
No,
That's what I thought.
you're gonna- Okay, our first award is to Daniel Dixon. Awarded from the American Legion, it's awarded to seniors who have shown most improvement during their high school years and are planning to continue studies in college. This too is also awarded to a senior who has who has shown most improvement during their high school years and plans to continue in college. This is Alexis Morris. Okay, this one is for the outstanding boy in the senior class, Jacob Dunham. This one is awarded to the senior entering the military. This is for Florian Bennett. And for Zachary Kelsey, who is also entering the military. And Michael Nichols. And this is for the boy who represented Whitney Point at Boy State, Hunter Jordan.
Thank you all. Our next presenter is Mr. Pete Haff from the Sons of the American Legion.
Thank you. On behalf of the Sons of the American Legion, Whitney Point Squadron 974, I'd like to present the following awards. First award, $100 to the boy who represented Whitney Point at Boy State last summer and was sponsored by the Sons, Nolan Abrahamson. Our second award is $100 to another representative who attended Boys State last summer, Michael Arsenault. And our third award, $100, and this is the Chuck Franklin Memorial Scholarship. It's in memory of Chuck Franklin, a longtime employee of the Whitney Point School District. This is awarded to a senior that has a strong desire or interest in history, and this is awarded to Alexis Morris. Thank you very much.
And we thank the American Legion as well. Thank you. The William Bill Stearns Scholarship is awarded by the Ford Hill Friends of Bill Stearns to graduating student athletes who best exemplify Bill's spirit of sportsmanship, grace, and commitment to excellence, both on the field of play and in the classroom. We have two $250 awards this year. One is awarded to Nolan Abrahamson, and the other is to Katura Aliba. Congratulations. Our next presenter, presenting the Rotary Student Awards, is Mr. Brad Snyder. Mr. Snyder?
Good evening. Superintendent Follett, Principal Teitler,